1.
What's up, guys? Welcome to, what did we call this last time? Lift
Man, it was like the Lift.
slash Morning Star slash
I don't remember.
podcast.
It's been so long.
You know what? That's something we need to actually decipher is
Come up with a name?
a name.
Discuss, or, I mean, that could be something.
We'll ask the students. Guys, what do we call on our podcast? That'd be something we can do. Well, anyway, we're here after a 3-month-long hiatus of not doing anything. And, yeah, I've got KB here.
Yes,
My guy.
Yes,
And
sir.
then Justin.
Justin.
We're just doing...
With video this time.
With video.
And we got Caleb.
Yeah, I'm here too.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so we just wanted to start this episode. We're just kind of talking about life. Even honestly, right before this, we were just talking about life and what life is, how life is for us, and what we're up to, and what God's doing in our life. And so, yeah, we're just gonna kind of roll right into it, I guess. So, KB, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell the people who you are, even though they probably know you, but.
Yes, sir. Y'all probably don't know who I am. I'm just a civilian. But my name is Kabongo. You know, I work at Camp Chautauqua, and I also have a clothing brand, and, you know, also come to Morning Star as well, you know. So, really excited to finally be a part of this, you know, so you guys should definitely continue to listen. So,
Stuff.
yes, sir.
Stuff. I think one of the things our goal was for this, and again, it's kind of just a rolling, we'll just see where it ends up going, but I think the sky's the limit. But one of our goals, one of the things I thought would be super cool for this was to be able to have students on, to be able to talk where they're at, you know, have the space to be able to share what God's doing in their life, but then also specifically being able to share like a Bible thought and or a Bible study or whatever. So like we do Bible studies throughout the week, and it'd be so cool to be able to have the students who lead those or who have something going on. They're like, yeah, I want to share this, to be able to be on here and share it, and then for their friends to be able to see it. And
Yeah. No, that'd be awesome, bro.
kind of go with whatever. So as school has started, we'll have to figure out obviously when we'll have to probably go case by case and get those people on here.
Potential weekends and stuff.
So we'll have to figure that out, but that'll be something we'll do. But Justin, why don't you tell the people where you're at? How's life going with you?
So
tell me that.
Tell you.
I want to know.
3 months ago.
Yeah.
So 3 months ago, definitely different in what I'm doing. I was at Camp Chautauqua full time. And at that time, it was a secret about some stuff because we were kind of doing some jokes and laying hints down for the kids, and no one noticed or caught on to any of it. But so now I was at Camp Chautauqua 3 months ago, full time. But what was in the works was that I was going to be the worship pastor, worship leader at Morning Star after the summer. And so that is now fully into play. It's been an awesome 3 weeks so far. That's crazy how fast time has gone. But a lot of learning. I still have a lot to learn. Unfortunately, I haven't been in the office to learn a lot because I had a wedding, and then the past couple of days I've been not feeling the best, and I'm still not feeling too well. But it's been cool. It's definitely different. I mean, KB were talking about, and he's like, "How does it feel working at a church?" And I was like, "I don't really know if I've felt it yet. In a way, it's been weird, but it's probably because I haven't been in as much as I wanted to be in the office and talking and learning and stuff." So but yeah, it's cool. It's definitely different. Definitely a different experience for sure.
Share a little bit about where you've been at even the past 2 years, because that's been something that's kind of been in the works for longer than just
a
couple months. You know, it's been 2 years. I think God's doing stuff in your life.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't remember exactly when John asked me about this role, but it was roughly 2 years ago, where he asked me about this, if I'd be interested in doing it. And at that time, in my head, I knew it was a no. There was just some stuff that was going through. I needed some more healing through just some sins and stuff, and past stuff that's happened to me that I just wasn't ready for. I knew I wasn't in the right mindset, mental, spiritual and physical. Honestly, I'm still not there all the way. Just which I can get into that a little later, just with the summer and stuff. But yeah, I knew it was a no for sure. I was like, nah, there's no way. There's no way I could hold it. Not necessarily like it being a title, but I know like the responsibility it takes to be on a church staff. Like you have to have this, like, what's the word I'm looking for? You have a bigger responsibility, and it's told throughout Scripture. I mean, specifically in 1st and 2nd Timothy, I'm pretty sure, where it talks about that. And so I was like, nah, not yet.
Yeah.
And so stayed at Camp Chautauqua that whole time, just helping out as much as I could. And then eventually, like, someone was mentioning it again, and I was like, I don't know I don't remember exactly when or what happened, but I was thinking about it, and it was like, I was like, oh no, like, it's time. Like, I could tell there was a difference in the way that God was speaking to me about it, and the way I was feeling about it, which is not an easy thing to explain, obviously, but I just knew it was different. I knew it was like time to really like think about it, pray about it. And so I remember there was like some manna meetings at Chautauqua, and someone was like, John was like, yeah, this guy sings for me, he's really good. I was like, yeah, I know we're looking for a worship pastor, and he was like joking about it. And then I was thinking about it prior to that, and then on the side when we got done like all joking around, I was like, hey, I patted, I was like, I've been really thinking about that actually. And so since then it's just, we started chatting about it again. Cool. And so I was like, let me pray about it. We'll meet again.
Yeah.
We'll talk some more through. So
yeah.
And ever since then it was like, oh, we're here. This is where we're going.
That's so cool.
So it's
that
dope.
That was because I remember that because John actually told me after he talked to you about it, he was like, hey, by the way, this is super hush hush, but like Justin might be thinking about this.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
That was like, I mean, how long ago was that?
That was the manna meetings in like,
ago, right?
That was the eclipse.
Oh yeah.
That was literally the day of the eclipse.
It was like 5 months ago.
Oh
yeah.
really?
Yeah, that was literally the day of the eclipse.
Like so much longer ago.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those manna meetings?
Yeah, those manna meetings.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
feels like it was way
the summers. Like, I felt like I've been at Chautauqua for 12 years, but I've only been there for 4 years, because the summers make it feel like I'm there forever, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And so, I'm not surprised that, especially since you're there all the time, too, like, the time just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, it never feels right.
That's so funny. Yeah. It is like a blur. Like, I look back at this past summer and I'm like, huh? Like, what just happened?
Yeah.
But
it's like every summer.
A question for you, Caleb.
Yeah.
Because if you guys didn't know, this is Caleb Brooks, Morning Star's youth pastor. Caleb, what do you feel as if called you to Morning Star?
Ooh, good question.
Helped you to develop into the youth pastor that you are today?
Yeah. So, real quick, I mean, it's a long story, but real quick, me and my wife, Cece, we were serving at another church not too far from here. Had felt the nudge and had felt the desire to be in ministry, to serve. Not full time, but just to help and to do whatever we can do. We felt the ability to do it, and just honestly, I guess that's what you call the call to do it. So, we came to Morning Star because my father-in-law knew John, and at this point he had just came to Morning Star. This was like a year within his being here. So this was back in 2017, 2018-ish time. And so, me and my wife got married in 2018. We came to Morning Star in January of 2019, just with I think I visited one time, and there was nothing flashy there was nothing flashy about Morning Star, and honestly nothing too attractive, other than the fact that it's a church that is kind of starting over and needs help, and that was literally it. So I was like, perfect. That's kind of where we wanted to go. At the time, I had been in the ministry that we were in for a while and wanted to go out and experience more. So I was kind of looking for something to learn more about in ministry, and like, because I grew up in the youth that I was leading at the time. So like, I was a student in that youth, and then I was leading it then. And so we were like, yeah, we kind of like, I feel like I need to go out, experience more, learn from other people, do all this kind of stuff, whatever. So this opportunity came up. I think I visited once or twice, and then we're just kind of like, let's do it. So we just jumped in and started literally just serving. Started at ground zero, just helping out in youth. At the time, I was helping out with youth and with the worship team because I could play like the guitar and the drums and stuff. And then after about a year of that, I stopped with the worship team just to kind of solely focus on the youth. Had other youth pastors come in. They went on to bigger and better things, had all this other stuff. And then at the time I was working, I was a full-time electrician at the time, going through school and in college. And at the time I was even in the military too. And honestly, just kind of one step after another. And then it's kind of very similar to where your story was I was part-time youth pastor here, still working full-time in my civilian job. And then civilian job. And then, which was, and then I was talking to John, and he was like, "There's some wait for you to come full time," and I was like, "Huh," because I never thought that was like, I just never saw that as an option because I loved what I did. Like I actually loved what I did, and that was like one of the things that I was like, is that actually something that we could and should do? Because, like, when I tell you, like, I actually genuinely loved my job. Like, it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I can't wait to get out. Like, I loved it. And so, it was hard. Like, we prayed about it for a while and was like, dang, like, is this something we really want to do? Like, me and my wife prayed about it for probably 4 or 5 months. And then started having those conversations. So I talked to John about it. I was like, hey, like, I know you're kind of messing around and joking around about it, but, like, if that's a serious option, like, that could be something that we feel like God's pushing us a little bit toward. So there was a little bit of the push, a little bit of the pull as well, coming from, we were doing a lot of things in ministry, things were going well, reaching a lot of students, doing different things here and there, but it came down to, I just didn't have the time to put into it that I could. I was busy. I had 2 kids at the time. 2, 3, maybe 3. Can't remember when Lila was at the time.
Caleb has 90 kids.
No,
by the way.
we have 3 right now. And I can't remember how young Lila was, but anyway, they started talking about that, and 2 or 3 kids at the time, and then just kind of jumped into it and started full time. So that's kind of where it was. So it was, honestly, it wasn't like this like big like, God like smacking me in the face like you need to go to full time. Like it wasn't ever that. It was just
you were itching for it or something.
It was literally just one small like step at a time, and then it really came to like, hey, like this is a possibility, and I'm already doing it. And really, what it came down to is the biggest thing was I can do more with the time that I have if I was full-time, right? Okay. That's really what it came down to, and just serving in the youth. And I've always felt called to be a part of youth, and I just loved it because it was a huge pivotal point in my life when I was a teenager and stuff. So, so that's where we are now. So we're almost 2 years into being full-time, which is crazy. It feels like it's been forever, but it's been such not a long time. But so that's how we've been here. It's just one step at a time. Just being faithful, honestly, to hey, there's a need, let's go fill it. Yeah. And then not really looking for that next thing until that next thing showed up.
Yeah. Nice. So that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I would say like one thing that is relatable for all 3 of our stories is like it wasn't like it was immediately something that we just wanted to do. It's kind of more of like God pulled us to what he wanted us to do, because even for me, I'm all the way from Texas, like moving to Ohio. I would have never thought in a million years I'd be in Ohio, but here I am,
Like 2 years ago, thinking about when you first came.
Bro, I did not till this day, bro, it's still kind of weird sometimes. Like Ohio, like why Ohio out of all places? But, that's how God works, Like he doesn't work on our timing, he works on his own timing. And so it's beautiful to see like how God has worked differently in all of our lives, but it was kind of like in his timing, everything flourished. So that's beautiful right there, man.
Talk a little bit about that a little more, because probably a lot of people know about the fact that you came from Texas, you did this whole thing, but talk about a little bit about that, because that's a huge deal. Like moving so far away,
it's 1,000 plus miles,
having your family, everything and then like ripping that up and saying, all right, I'm gonna go, and I'm just gonna do this. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so moving all the way from Texas to Ohio, It was definitely like an extremely uncomfortable situation, I would say, just because you know, when you grow up into something and you start to get comfortable in that situation, that's where your mind, body, and soul wants to be, you know? And I had to realize whenever I did come here, it's like uncomfortability should be a norm in our lives, you know, because where I was back in Texas, I became comfortable in that environment, and I started to let that environment distract me, and not only that, pull me away from my true calling. And it wasn't until God brought me to Ohio and He isolated me and He put me in a season of isolation that I started to realize just how much I really needed God, you know, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a very prideful person at times, and it's very humbling when God just says, no, I'm gonna do it my way. And like, I've been having to learn that, hey, when God says that, like, back up. Yeah. So with me moving here, it was that's one of those things where God was like, no, I'm gonna do it my way. Like, I got a bigger plan than you have for yourself. Because back in Texas, I was thinking about opening up a kiosk in the mall to like start selling my stuff as far as my clothing brand, and everything fell apart. Like literally, I went bankrupt. Like, I didn't have enough money to pay for my plane ticket to come to Ohio. I had to pay federal income tax, and I didn't have enough money, and so everything just seemed like, oh man, everything was gloomy and dark. But I'm not gonna lie, it was in that commotion and in that like just craziness that God was telling me, like, you need to go over here. Because if none of that would have happened, I'd have still been in Texas. But I seen like God is closing every single possible door here. There has to be something elsewhere. And I just prayed about it, and I was like, there's only one place that I know, like, I respected the culture enough to work there, and it was Chautauqua in Ohio. That's why I came back. So it was in all that, though, that just to say, like, you know, in the craziness and all the commotion, God is still there. Just don't think just because you're going through hard times, God isn't there. He's always there.
Yeah. How did you get plugged in with Chautauqua in the first place?
It was by accident. It was crazy. So it was literally by accident, bro. So I think the year that I graduated high school, I wanted to travel with Engage.
Okay.
Because my senior year, I went to my last Engage camp as a student.
Okay.
And
in Texas or where?
In Texas.
Okay.
And so we had like a little meeting with like the Engage people to say, hey, if you guys want to travel with Engage next year, you guys can sign up. And so I ended up going to that meeting. And a bunch of my friends went with me, but they didn't take it serious. But I actually like was interested in it because I met Garrett Sears. I don't know if you guys know him, but I met Garrett there. And he was like, hey, if you're actually serious, I can help you out. So I was like, okay, for sure. So left there. And so I stayed in contact with Garrett. And so throughout like the summer, I just kept on talking to him. And he got me hooked up with, I think her name was Reese. Her name was Reese. And he hooked me up with her, and we started talking, and she was like, hey, yeah, if you would love to travel with Engage, we'd love to have you, but there's also another place called Chautauqua. And I was like, nah, I don't want to hear it. And so she puts Nate on the phone anyway. She was like, this is Nate Cox, government name, I'm sorry, Nate. So she puts Nate on the phone, bro, and then Nate's like, hey buddy, I'm Nate, and you know, we got an opportunity down here in Ohio, you know, guess who's gonna be here this summer? Paul George. As soon as he said Paul George, bro, I got hyped. I was like, I'm going. See, that's what I thought, right? In the back of my head, I was like, bro, that's so lit, but I turned it down. So I ended up telling Nate, nah, man, you know, I've always wanted to travel with Engage. So he was like, okay. And so weeks go by, bro, and in my heart, I just feel like something is telling me, bro, you made the wrong decision, like over and over and over. And I'm like, bro, but I've always wanted to go with Engage. But like something was really telling me like, no, you need to call them back. So I ended up calling Reese back and telling her, hey, is there a way where I can actually go into Chautauqua instead? And she was like, I don't know, because it was so close to summer. She was like, I don't know if we can make that change. So I ended up calling Nate. Wow. And Nate was like, you know what, buddy, you know, if you actually want to come here and you feel like God's calling you here, just get you a plane ticket and be here this day, and this day, and we'll get it all set. And so I was like, okay. So I got my plane ticket, came to Ohio. So it happened by accident. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But then, you know,
thank you, Paul George.
Paul George never came, but hey, we still love Chautauqua, you know what I mean? Like
that's funny.
You know, he probably would have been there if that player didn't get traded.
I know, bro. That was crazy.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, God was working in all of it, though.
That's super cool, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Dang.
That's a big deal. Moving across the country.
Yes, bro. It is.
Yes, bro.
But what about you guys? How do you guys feel as if, like, with this season of y'all's lives, do you guys feel as if God is calling you into a season of isolation, or is God calling you all into more of a season where He wants you guys to spread the gospel and just be in the midst of helping people?
Obviously, I think God, even in isolation, there's opportunities to do that, to share. And I think being here, even if I'm not, which I should be doing, even if I'm not doing it outwardly when I'm out and about, there's still a part of it that's being done on Sundays, and a part of it being done on like Sunday mornings and Sunday nights with the youth. Part of it being done on Tuesdays. But yeah, I would say definitely like, man, God's been doing some crazy stuff in my life too, like some eye-opening things. Definitely some changes that I've been thinking about and gonna start doing, but I don't know if isolation is the right word for me. It might be. I don't want to say it isn't, but been, I guess, a little on the lines of burnout just from this last summer. And so just been trying to like deal with that, like just tired all the time, just tired. I've been sick a lot this year, which is weird. I'm never feel like this ever. And so I've been trying to figure that out. Like, I don't want everything in my life to be like, oh, is this like a test, or is this like something spiritual? Like, what's going on? Like, there's obviously some stuff I do need to change, but like I've been thinking about that a little more recently. Like why is this happening? Obviously, like, it could just be happening just because it's happening. There couldn't be a reason behind it, but definitely on the lines of like, definitely a little tired. Like, emotionally, like, socially, just like kind of there. Like, I'm kind of just like, I don't need to do this. Like, I could be content with just chilling all day. That's kind of where I've been like the past definitely month, where I'm just like, man, I just want to chill. Like, but that's tough. Like, it's hard. Like it's tough knowing and being in a ministry. Like, you can't do that always. So. That's kind of where I've been.
I'm writing stuff down that I remember for the next time we do stuff. For sure. And I will answer in just a second.
No,
you
can't
good. Talk and type at the
But it's
same
like,
time.
I don't know. It's hard to like. I've just been thinking so much, like so many different areas. Like, if I did this different, yada yada. Like, but I don't think that's like the right way to approach it. I don't know. Trying to figure out the way to approach it. Burnout's tough.
Yeah, burnout's real, bro.
Like, I'm not officially there. Like, if I was there, I would have told John, like, hey, I need more time. But definitely socially, just kind of like, I could just chill. Like, I don't need to be, like, I don't want to. Like, I will do it. Like, I'm going to obviously do stuff. Like, I have to. But I could just be like, I'm all right.
You think that goes more to your personality, though? Because would you say you're a little bit more, like, what would you tend toward? Being extroverted or introverted?
I've been told I'm both.
Yeah.
And it depends on what's happening to me. So, like, you good?
No, I think the sweater was open.
Jonathan.
So, like, not the most positive summer. That I've gone through, just a bunch of stuff. And so because it wasn't positive, the negativity pushes me in a different direction. But like pre-summer, when I was helping out a bunch of youth, when we were trying to do this, whole different attitude.
For sure.
And so, I think I think for me,
I think for me, bro, is
because like, because some people are like, I'm this all the time, or I'm this all the time. For me, it's different. It's how life's going. Is kind of like, that's when then I gravitate toward something else, and that might be like a common thing. I've been told like I think I definitely lean more on the extroverted side, because people do fuel me, but right now in my life, people aren't fueling me. So I've been told I'm both, and I don't remember the term. There's a term for that. I don't remember what it is, but
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Yeah, I would say like for myself, I think we all have a little bit of both. It just depends on how much, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of us are very extroverted in some ways, but like you need like how you get filled up is sometimes just like for me, is like just being with my family. You know what I mean? I need time with that. Like, I need like that time of just being like, all right, I've been doing too much. I just need to hang out with my wife and my kids for a little bit. And that's for me like my somewhat introverted side. I just need to sit down and watch a movie or whatever and not do a bunch of things. But definitely lean more toward, like myself, I lean way more toward like doing things with people.
Yeah.
And like that's been one of the things that me and my wife, we rest very differently. So like she rests by just hanging out at the house. You know what I mean? Just doing stuff with us, right? Or you know, just relaxing or whatever, this and that. And I do too at times. Like that's sometimes what I need as well.
Yeah.
But there are times when like my like brain, like I can turn my brain off.
Yeah.
And just like go and play basketball with the boys.
Yeah.
Or go golfing. Like that to me is like rest. Like that's like.
Yeah.
Like I get to challenge myself.
Frisbee golf.
It really is. Yeah. Let's go frisbee golf. Or let's do something new, or let's do something like that actually helps me like breathe. That I don't have to think about other things. And so to answer your question, like I think I don't know. I've always been like go, and let's do the next thing. Like what's the next thing look like?
Yeah.
But I've for sure this past year noticed that in that tendency to do that, I usually neglect a lot of the things that I don't have to think about, or that I need to put effort toward, which is usually my family, my wife and kids. So when I'm like go with all these things that I want to do, and then I'm like, oh shoot, like I'm literally have left my wife and kids in the dust, and that's so bad, and it caught up to me this past year for sure. And so I don't know about isolation, if it's like I'm in a season of isolation, but like definitely in a season of like knowing when to focus, when to be focused, but also knowing when to be filled. Like when I need to be focused on work or on ministry or on other people or on outreach or on all those kinds of things, but then also knowing that I have to have time for my family, for my wife, for my kids, and being intentional with that as well. And I don't think I'm ever going to be perfect at that. I'm always going to suck, but it is something that I've definitely been working on and trying to do better. So yeah, that's probably for me where I'm at. Yeah.
For sure, man.
So
let me see how much time we have left. We have 12 minutes left on the SD card.
okay,
Do you guys want to start wrapping it up?
sure.
No.
So the way that I usually
Trying to
wrap
think.
up mine is I ended off with something called a to-go plate. So like each person would give like the last like bit of game, like what do you want them to leave off with, like as much game as you can. So who wants to start it off?
I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What'd you say? To go what?
To-go plate.
Oh, you're giving them
Oh,
to go play.
to go with.
I see what you're saying.
I like that.
So resume.
Yeah, I think like
You need to in the beginning. Sorry, in the beginning you need to keep the clap in.
The clap it?
Yeah. No, yeah, like 3, 2, 1. Like that needs to be in the podcast
I got you.
because that's tough.
Wait, do you think we should keep in like us like doing this too?
I mean,
Sure.
like, it's real. Like it
I
doesn't bother
really don't
me.
care.
Yeah.
I think it'd be.
I
sweet.
usually always cut these part out. They just only see like the real stuff.
The real stuff.
No, I'm fine with it. It's a conversation.
Yeah,
I
for
would
sure.
rather post most of it.
Yeah, I'd rather show vulnerability than not.
I would
For
too.
sure.
I would too. So
All right.
we're figuring this out as we go, guys. We're figuring it out.
For sure.
To go, I think like no matter like where, like in burnout, like God definitely has been showing out. And like I said, it's not full burnout, but it's been a blessing being here for sure. I was telling him it's different. Like you get your work done and no one says anything. There's not like another thing, and it's like Asher Talk was like, I got my work done. It's like, what else can I do? Where else can I go? And I know once when I start getting like more comfortable in what I need to do, then I'll start dabbling more in other places. But
Yeah,
man, like in it, like
that's cool.
yeah, just trying to be more positive. Like once when I get more positive, then I know things will shift in a different way for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if I'm negative, I'm in a negative season. But if I'm positive all the time. And it's just negative right now, and that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
not everything's gonna be perfect, and there's stuff to learn in it, for sure. So, just keep focused, man. It's tough, but keep focused on that prize of trying to win people to Christ and stuff. That's the big goal.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. So, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask you, do you feel like does that mess with you that you're in like a new season, but it's still kind of negative?
No.
No?
No. I don't think so.
That's cool.
No, I mean, I could be wrong, but right now it's not. I'm like,
Yeah.
Because when I think about doing the stuff I need to do here, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I just know I need to do it.
Yeah.
And so, in a good way, not a bad way.
Yeah.
It's just like, outside of this, it's just kind of like, there's not much, like, I'm just tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just tired. So.
For sure.
But, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You're awesome.
No, I'm not.
Bro, you gotta take walks like
That's what I'm saying,
out
bro.
in nature, bro. Like for
That helps, bro.
Yeah, it really does,
Yeah.
bro. Like just to clear up your mind.
Me and Cece started doing that this past year. Is we started taking walks up and down their street, and it like is huge. Like even like when we feel disconnected, like when I feel like, we just need to talk. Like we just need to connect.
Dude, the prayer garden used to be my place.
We just go on a walk. Yeah. We just go on a walk, and like usually we beef out the things we need to beef out and talk about things we need to talk about, and then we dream and do whatever. But I've been doing that in the mornings. I've been trying to like wake up in the mornings, which I'm out of my routine now because I was out of town all last week. But like this past probably couple months, actually, really, it's been since the fall. So once school gets back into play, because my summer schedule compared to my school schedule is way different. But like when students get back into school, like my mornings and stuff, I can get back into a routine. But I've been trying to wake up and I either go on a run, I go on a walk, or I work out. And one of those things happens. So I go on a walk. If I go on a walk, I just walk up and down the driveway. And it's been so nice these past couple days because it's been cool. Oh, dude, it's my favorite. I love it so much. But it does, man. It clears my head, helps me think, helps me get ready. I do that before I read my Bible in the morning, too.
Yeah.
Because then I go in, I read my Bible, I take my notes.
Then you're a little more locked.
I'm ready. It's just waking me up.
I can't wake up and read right away.
Yeah.
I'm not locked in enough.
Gives me 20 minutes, 30 minutes to like, all right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll go get a workout in real fast or whatever, but
yeah.
I try to do that before my kids wake up too.
Yeah.
So try to get all that in before, but that helps me a lot.
Go on walks.
That's right, go on walks. It really does help me a lot. That's my to-go plate. That's my bacon, egg, and cheese.
Bacon, egg, and cheese. Let me get y'all a burger right quick, bro. Hey, so the biggest thing I would say really is just trust God in all of it. Yeah, just literally just trust God in all of it. Your imperfections make you beautiful, like don't let people downplay your scars. Like none of us are perfect, but that's what makes us human, and that's okay. I would say also pick your friends wisely, especially if you guys are younger and you guys are watching this. And also, don't be scared to like proclaim God's name out in public and just everywhere. Because when I was younger, I used to think like being a follower of Christ was like uncool. And I feel like a lot of the people watching this, they might think that too because they're younger. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like it's the coolest thing you could ever do. And like a lot of people are gonna shame you and look at you like you're weird. But to be honest, they're weird.
For real.
We're all a little weird, man.
Yeah. I would say, and then just to kind of carry on with that is, like we're going to do more of these, obviously, and then we're going to have students on, so just be looking for that stuff. But we love you guys, everybody who's listening. We do this for you so that you can, we're not I'm stupid, but hopefully we lean on God a little bit more, you know what I mean? So it's really for you guys, so we just want to encourage you and love you guys. So yeah, that's all we got.
Yes, sir. 3, 2, 1, now.
Game over.